Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stash-down Diaries. Today is December 11th and I'm feeling a little festive. I got my little tree up in my yarn room. And yeah, my name is Jen. I'm a knitter and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about my knitting projects and plans with a focus on trying to knit from my stash primarily. So I think there are quite a few of you who are new here, and I think you found me from my hat video or maybe one of my sock videos. Thank you so much for subscribing and coming along for this little ride. So happy to have you, and I love hearing from you in the comments section. So yeah, thanks for joining me. You might hear a little ambient noise from either my pets. Piper is cleaning her paws right now, and it is very rainy here in Nova Scotia today. So yeah, that said, I'm coming to you from beautiful Cape Breton Island in the province of Nova Scotia, which is in Atlantic Canada. And I thought we were going to get winter, but it has gone up to 11 degrees Celsius today, or 8-ish. It's supposed to go to 11 tomorrow. I think we're at 8-ish today. And it is raining pretty good out there, so it's a nice cozy kind of evening. Kind of makes me want to read Wuthering Heights again, but I only just finished it. Like, it was the last book I read before the one I just finished today. And it was miserable. It was good, but it was absolutely miserable. I needed a little pick-me-up after that. So yeah, that's what it feels like though. It feels very like moorish. Anyway, so there's one thing I have to look after before I get into my regular episode, and I need to talk about my hat knitting video. It wouldn't be one of my pattern roundup videos if I didn't accidentally leave out a pattern that was, you know, right here in my notes. So I did miss one, much like my sock video, and I have to rectify the situation. So it is the House Pride hat by Jenny Noto, and I'm going to put a picture of it right here. And the reason why I really wanted to include this one and why it went into my notes to begin with is that it is a hat that if you need to find something to use a nice variegated yarn that is like hanging out in your stash for a while because you don't know what to do with it, this is a great pattern for that. And also it's written for a number of different yarn weights. So I was stoked when I found this pattern because I had a skein of Mano Stel I'm going to butcher this, I'm sorry. Mano Stel Araguay Alegria Grande, I think. Just this beautiful like variegated yarn, and it was just hanging out. And the picture that I posted, that is what I did with it, and just used a natural colored yarn that was in my stash. And that is a pattern that anytime I have one of those lovely variegated skeins hanging out my stash, I'm going to go back to that pattern. So anyway, now that I've covered that off, I can get into my regular video. And since it's December 11th, it is my first regular episode of December. That means I have to talk about my stash down stats. So on November 30th, Tracy of Tracy's Rolling Yarn Shop came to my community, and I went to buy some yarn for gifts for knitting gifts, and gift yarn for me, because I can never go in there and not get something for myself. However, I will get into what yarn I bought when I get into acquisitions, but first, because that was November 30th, it goes into my November stash down stats. So grams out, I did pretty good. 417 grams out, and it was all socks. 417 grams of socks, which included my little teeny advent socks, which I'm really enjoying those for my little advent calendar. They're going to be part of my little exit video at the end if you want to see them strung up. Yeah, so 417 grams out. And I think everything I bought that one day in Tracy's amounted to 485 grams. So I am up 68 grams. However, that one of those yarns has already been knit up, as you will see, and it was like almost 68 grams. Almost made it, but so I'm almost already evened up, but I'm still at a negative, with that plus 68, I'm still at a negative 517 for 2024. This is an ongoing stash down. It's not a year-long stash down, it's ongoing. But I like to track year by year and kind of make a goal to be in the negatives at the end of the year, so that each year it'll kind of accumulate into stash being used up. And then in the spring, I do my updated yarn stash video and see if I've managed to clear some of these baskets or bins that are hanging around. So yeah, so I'm still negative 517. I had to purchase yarn today to finish off some chunky, not chunky socks, but the heavy socks that I knit to sell to my search and rescue teammates and my coworkers. This pair I'm not selling, I'm giving it to a dear friend. But yeah, I had to buy yarn to finish those off today, and I think that's the only yarn I'm buying in December. I don't think Tracy is coming back until the new year. So I will track her down then when I need yarn, or if I need yarn. I might not even need yarn until like March, when I usually buy some for my birthday. So yeah, still in the negatives. So now, since I spoke about that, we will get into what I purchased. Here is what I purchased for me. Actually, there were a couple of things I purchased for me, but one of them is now going to be for somebody else. But this is Natural You Yarns in their Gots to Have It fingering weight. Ooh, there it is. Natural You Yarns. They are local to Nova Scotia. They are over in Pictou on the mainland. And this color is Aurora Borealis. I already have it caked up because it's going to be part of my 12 days of cast-ons. And it is lovely. I'm not going to say what I'm going to knit with it because you will see that in the 12 days of cast-on video series. So yeah, this is a nice treat for myself. That is that one. So that's all caked up. And then this one is for gift knitting. This is also a local yarn. This is from the Opulent Alpaca, which is here in Cape Breton. And it is 50% Shetland wool, 25% Huacaya, which is a type of alpaca. I can't pronounce it. I know somebody in the comments will know how to pronounce it. Did I say Huacaya right? I don't know. And then 25% Surrey. So it's kind of like a DK weight. So that's what I'm going with. It doesn't list its weight on here, but I kind of compared it to like my Cascade 220 and stuff, and it's a little bit thinner than that. So yeah. So that yarn is produced right here in Cape Breton in Inverness with my finger, little alpaca farm that is there. And yeah, so I purchased that at Tracy's. That is going to be knitted up for a gift. And then I got some suds. These two are going to be knitted up for a gift. It's some Estelle suds. It's just their cotton yarn. Good dishcloth cotton. I suppose you could probably knit like a sweater out of it too, but it's not like super nice Pima cotton, so I don't know if you'd want to. But yeah, it's Estelle suds. These two are going together for one project. Just got like a blue and a light gray. So that is those. And then this one, so I was watching Ange from Yarn and Yarns, and she had it as part of her 12 cast-ons. I think it was last year, the year before. It was last year, the year before, but I had been binge watching her 12 days of cast-ons, or 12 her 12 cast-ons at the start of the year that she does, which I'm doing this year because looks awesome. She did the Varia mitts. And so I purchased this double Sunday to knit them. But I was supposed to purchase Sunday. So I have a DK weight instead of a fingering weight. So next time I see Tracy, I will go get the correct one. They were going to be part of my 12 cast-ons, but I've got a ton of other projects that I can do that are, you know, a little more urgent, I guess you could say. But the Varia mitts have an owl on them. I think it's a barred owl. And I love owls. They are like my favorite. So, but now instead, I am going to knit the Selbu mittens, which is a pattern that has been in my in my library for years, like basically since they were published. So that's by Skein Deer Knits. And so I'm going to knit those, and I'm going to donate them to the Becoming Outdoors Woman silent auction that happens at Become an Outdoors Woman to raise money for equipment and stuff for the program. So that is what is going to happen with these. The other yarn that I purchased is in my finished objects section. So yeah, I'm just going to take a wee break for some water, and I will get right into the finished objects. And here we go. This one is the yarn that I purchased when I was at Tracy's. It is Drops Air, and the pattern is the Happy Smiles hat by Drops Design, which is a free pattern. It is on their website. This is the recommended yarn for it, and it is just absolutely delectable. I knit this as a gift, and now I want one for myself, even though I really don't like knitting 1x1 rib, but it fits really well. So, and it's just so soft. I purchased one ball of the yarn thinking that they were 100 gram balls. They're not. They're 50 gram balls, and you need a little bit more than one to knit the hat. However, I have some in my stash for a sweater that I'm knitting, so I just grabbed, and it's the same color, so I just grabbed some to supplement the hat a little bit. It didn't take, I think it took like 11 more grams to finish the hat. So yeah, this one is going to be for my niece. Great hat pattern if you are yeah, just looking for something that will like go with everything and is super warm and cozy and soft. Yeah, I can't recommend this enough. Drops Designs patterns can be like a little unclear, like just a little bit sometimes, but where this is just a hat pattern, I didn't find that this time. But anyway, yeah, so Drops Air, it is alpaca. Wait, now. Let me see. I think it's alpaca and merino. Nope, 65% alpaca, 28% polyamide. So it's like a blown in yarn. So the polyamide is the, like the tube that the yarn is blown into. And then it's 7% wool. Oh yeah, and it is merino wool. A medium thick blow yarn made of baby alpaca and merino wool is what it is. And it's not too expensive. It's very affordable, and it is lovely. And I am knitting a sweater out of this, so yeah, which is yarn that I purchased I think back in the summer sometime when Tracy was here. But I'm really looking forward to knitting a sweater out of this. Anyway, so that is my first one, my first finished object, which is also a acquisition. So there you go. Okay, next, do you remember these ones? Oh, I don't have my blockers. Just one sec. Due to the magic of editing, when I say 1 sec, it is actually 1 sec. But anyway, so these are the Brambleberries socks by This Handmade Life, who has a lot of really great sock patterns, and some of them are free and they're beautiful. I think this one was paid for, so these ones are a gift. This is knit out of, I'll just give you a little has a nice diamond lace design. This is knit out of some leftover Zen Yarn Garden that I had in my stash, and it is discontinued. So, and I'm really sad about it because it's been absolutely wonderful yarn. But there are similar, similar soft, you know, indie yarn dyers out there. But yeah, it's always sad when one goes away. But anyway, so yeah, so you can't get this yarn, but you can surely get the pattern. So these are just little shorties, and I made the leg just a tiny bit longer than the pattern lays out. I mean, it says you can make them longer, of course, but in the samples that are in the pattern page, you start the heel as soon as you finish the cuff, but I went for a pattern repeat first. But yeah, these ones, I can't remember if I did 60. These are knitted for a small-footed person in my family, and I can't remember if I did 64 or 56 for this one. I might have done 56, but yeah, if I didn't go on hiatus with them for a bit, they would have knit up super fast. You would have been seeing these long ago. But yeah, they went on a little bit of a hiatus, but they came back and they were finished fairly quickly, I might add, because with the lace pattern, it makes it a little potato chippy. So you're like, oh, next, do one more repeat, do one more repeat. So anyway, I love them. They're super cute. So that is another one. And then I have one more finished object. I think these are the 3. Yeah, I have 3 finished objects, and this is the vanilla socks. This yarn is Comfort Sock and Wool. I think I totally misplaced the label, which is not very nice of me. But yeah, I love how these turned out. Really like the navy blue with the stripe pattern. Oh, hi Maisie. There she is. Yeah, so these ones are also a gift. I hope the person isn't watching the video, but you know, they always get an add-on gift too, so there'll be at least one surprise in there. Yeah, Comfort Sock and Wool, 64 stitches on a US one or 2.25 millimeter, just your regular vanilla sock. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I always use a heel, flap and gusset. That is my go-to heel. Yeah, love these. Excellent, excellent yarn. Love the colors. Really happy with this project. So I have one pattern that you've seen before, and 3 that you have not seen yet. So this one is the Sophie scarf by Petite Knit. Very well-known pattern. I made it to the halfway point, which is right here. And now I am starting the decreases. So the yarn, like this is where I was the last time that I recorded. The yarn is Debbie Bliss Angel, which had been in my stash since like 2013. And similarly, also like 2013, 2014, this is Drops Alpaca. The colorway is like 0100 or it's 1011. I had those 2 in my stash, and they're extremely close in color. One is just slightly creamier, and I don't know the difference between them really. So yeah, I'm not sure which one I picked for this. But anyway, it is coming along. It is super soft and fuzzy. I don't know what else to say about it. Maisie wants to attack it, but you know, that's Maisie for you. Yeah. One thing that I am going to try to do is every once in a while go to my elder stash, which are the oldest yarns in my stash, And well, I like pick the oldest one and knit something with it. So right now, I checked. Right now, it's like a Cascade 220 gray scraps that I knit my Veronica cardigan out of. That's the one that I was wearing in the hat video. And so I feel fairly confident about knitting up the scraps from that. It's just a tiny little ball. I might get a mug rug out of it, or I might put it into a scrappy project. I don't know, but like these would have been like, these were Elder Stash yarns, so they would have been like coming up as yarns to knit if I go through that process, which I think I am, because it's about time some of those yarns got knit up. So anyway, that is the Sophie scarf. That one I am giving to my mother, not as a Christmas gift, but just as a just because thing. Next one is a Christmas gift. And the person that they're for does not watch my videos, so I'm safe in showing these. These are just 3x1 rib socks. I'm kind of looking forward to after Christmas when I can get to knitting socks with a pattern again. Because lately it's been like 3x1 rib and vanilla, other than the brambleberries. But yeah, when I'm doing my 12 cast-ons, there are going to be some socks with other patterns, which is going to be fun. Yeah, so this is Opal 6 ply, and the yarn is, the colorway is, it's an excellent, I love this colorway. The light is like really showing it off right now, but it's the colors don't normally stand out from each other that much. They're a little bit more, I don't know, subdued, but it's excellent. It's like a dark gray and a light gray, and then there's like a little hint of teal in this stripe. It is from Opal's Rainforest colorways. It's the one that has the Black Panther on it. The label is downstairs on the end table. Of course, I didn't put it in the bag. But anyway, here it is in the ball. The information is on my project page on Ravelry anyway, if you wanted to find the colorway number. It's, yeah, everything is in Ravelry. Here it is in the ball. I would definitely purchase this again for sock knitting for somebody. I love this colorway. This might be one of my favorite Opal colorways. But this is where I'm at. I have a sock complete and one on its way. I am going to save this for theater knitting this weekend. I'm going to see Christmas Carol. You thought I was going to say Wicked, didn't you? I'm not going to see Wicked just yet. But yeah. So that is that. Love that one. And I'm very much enjoying knitting the thicker socks. The socks that I've chosen for myself for the 12 cast-ons are all DK weight, which is enjoyable. They knit up so much faster, and they're just like, they're nice to wear too, like just a little bit more thickness. So I'm probably going to be knitting like DK weight more, or holding fingering double, which really will knock some stash out. So yeah, that is those. And then here it is. I think I showed this guy. Yes, I did. I showed this guy in my last regular episode. I thought I hadn't, but apparently I had. So this is Gnome News is Good News by Sarah Skira from Imagine Landscapes. And I have a body and a hat. I'm kind of I did a 3-needle bind off for putting the piece together. I'm kind of regretting not doing Kitchener, but it's going to be fine. That's going to be the back of the gnome. The short rows, the tiny short rows in this almost killed me. I don't mind doing short rows like on a sweater or something, or like a sock heel. This in the round on Magic Loop was just like, it was a slog and I was so happy when I was done. But anyway, he is going to be super cute. The yarn is Timber Yarns in their gingerbread colorway. I'm actually wearing the socks that I made from these did I make them last year? Maybe, I can't remember. Last year or 2 years ago. And then I just have some Knit Picks stroll for the hat, and I think there's going to be feet and arms. I had a hard time picking a color for the rest of the gnome. I was like trying to find the heel, cuff, and toe yarn that matches this, but I couldn't find it. I must not have any left in my stash. And then I have another gingerbread colorway that I was holding up to it and seeing if it matched. It didn't quite match. And I said, I'd rather have something that really doesn't match, like doesn't match that green at all, than have something that is just slightly off. So, but I think once the feet and the arms are done, it'll tie them together. So, and I'll have more stuffing for it because somebody whose name rhymes with Swiper stole a little stuffed, it was a decorative reindeer that was like made out of like kind of a canvas material and was stuffed, and she destroyed it. So I have more stuffing. I'm glad I wasn't too attached to it. I did a really poor job of depipering that day. That was like Monday, I think. And I didn't have the deer displayed. I just forgot to put the cover back on the bin that it was in. And yeah, it's history now. But I have more stuffing for gnomes and chickens and all kinds of other wonderful little stuffy things. Okay, this one you did not see. Did I forget about Sarah's annual Advent gnome along? Yeah, I did. Until like December 2nd or something like that. And it's called Nana's Visit. G-N-A-N-A, of course. And if you're knitting this, don't worry about spoilers. I have Clue 2 done, so I can show it. But these are my two main colors. I went with a blue color palette. I am going to knit Clue 3 this evening. I think I'll put a Christmas movie on and cozy up. It's such a like cozying in kind of rainy night, so the gnome is going to get work done. But these are all scraps. I'm not even sure what a lot of these are. I think this is Cascade Heritage. This is Knit Picks Stroll. This is the gray I'm using. It is, I think it's Sweet Georgia. And this one, really, like, who knows? Who knows? I don't. You probably don't. I have no idea. So anyway, I'm working on that. I'm keeping her in my Beauty and the Beast bag, which is one of my favorite bags. This one is from Stitch Life, made in Colorado. I remember ordering this. I was like obsessed because obviously I'm a big fan of Beauty and the Beast. So that is why I saw it. I had to have it. But yeah, one thing about knitting this is I keep forgetting what's like color 1 and what's color 2. This is color 1, this is color 2, gray is color 3. And I always know color 4 is the white. But anyway, I forget. Sometimes I forget. So that is it for projects. I wanted to talk for a second about the 12 cast-ons before I go. Yeah, so Robin and Sylvie of Grumpy Sheep Happy Llama brought my attention to Ange's 12 cast-ons that she does at the start of the year. And she does this whole thing with, you know, the hashtags and showing everybody what she's knitting and asking everybody else to show them what what their 12 cast-ons are, and posting them on Instagram and doing progress and things like that. And it's so low pressure too. It's like super low pressure. There's no deadlines for any of these cast-ons. You can finish them in 2030, you know. And like there's some, she'll do a roundup at the end of the year, and there's some, you know, she casts on one day and then doesn't work on it again for the rest of the year, which is so my vibe. But anyway, I thought it would be a great thing for me to do with 12 things that I'm knitting for myself, because I knit a lot for other people and sometimes I lose track of like knitting for myself. So I thought if I cast on all these projects for myself, I will at least have 12 in a year, working on 12 in a year. That'll be for myself. So what I'm going to do video wise is I am going to do a little video each day of the cast on. Now they normally run from Christmas Eve to January 6th, I think, if that math works out. But like, it's no pressure. She says anytime in January. However, I am a winter solstice fan. I really like kind of marking the return of days getting shorter rather than longer. So I kind of, yeah, I mark kind of the winter solstice. I just take note of it. So I am going to start on winter solstice, which is the 21st, and I'm going to go until January 1st. And I am going to do a video for each cast on. At least that's the plan. If I fall behind and I have to do a video for 2 cast-ons, that is fine as well. I'm gonna wing it, put no pressure on myself, because this is the Christmas season after all, and it's already full of pressure. So yeah, that is what I am going to do. We'll see how that goes, but I have all my projects planned. They're all like right here. Oh, and then there's, you know, this one. They're right here, and they need to be put in project bags and put the needles with them. And then I have some here that are still in a Tracy's rolling yarn shop bag. So they're subject to change. Some have already changed, because of course they have. I think I'm done changing them. One got bumped because I wanted to add a scrappy project, and then I was going through my bins here of scrap yarns, and I got overwhelmed even just looking at them. So I was like, I need to pull some scrap yarns and just say all these scrap yarns, I'm working on these scrap yarns until they're all gone. Let's see where I put the bag. Yeah, so this is a bag of scrap yarns I want to be working on. And so one of the projects for the 12 cast-ons is a scrappy project, but then I have one planned to cast on before that. I want to have my Christmas gift knitting done before the 21st, which is on track to do that. I'm knitting a hat and finishing those socks. I put like no pressure on myself this year. Normally I would knit socks for the littles, but I got them like nice hoodies, so I don't really need to knit. They have so much stuff. They really do. And yeah, I just didn't want to pressure myself to have, like, they're only small socks, but still they take a lot of time on fingering weight to knit. I guess I could have went with DK or held double, but anyway, I didn't want to put that pressure on myself. So there's one I want to cast on too. I want to get those 2 off the needles, and then I want to cast on another scrappy door stopper. I knit one of those in 2023, the start of 2023, and it was in one of my first videos, or the first video I think that I recorded, because I kind of did these are my projects for this year up until that point. So I also have this bag, and this is mostly worsted weight yarns. So the way I knit the scrappy door stoppers, I stripe it, and as I run out of one color, I add other colors, so the stripes kind of end up working into each other. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, scraps are like they're gonna make me batty or overwhelmed, like super overwhelmed. So they need to go. And I'm going to make useful projects with them that don't need to be super aesthetic because they're just going to be for me. Anyway, like, not that you can't make pretty things out of scrap yarn. You obviously can, but I just don't want to overthink and try to combine colors right and everything. So I'm just knitting things for me. So yeah, that is what I'm planning on doing. So next week I'm going to record again on the Wednesday and upload on the Thursday. I think that's going to be my recording schedule going forward. I think that's going to be a lot easier for me because I never have anything going on Wednesdays, whereas on the weekends I have, like, I'm always at my parents' house. So anyway, that is what is going to happen. So next week I am going to record on Wednesday, and then after that, the Saturday is going to be the 21st, which I can't believe. Oh my. So then I'll start my 21. On the 21st, I will start my 12 cast on videos, which will be like kind of Vlogmas style a little bit. Like, I'll just do some clips of kind of what I did that day and stuff too, if there was anything interesting. Or they'll just be clips of what my pets were doing that day. That's all. So I'll talk about the yarn, the pattern, and what I plan to accomplish with that project. So yeah, and I think they're already pretty much listed in order of when I'm going to cast them on, but of course that might change because I am flexible and wishy-washy. I think that's the better term that I was looking for, is wishy-washy. Anyway, okay, I think I am done. Oh, I just wanted to show you. I try to get handmade things for my tree each year, and like some of them aren't, but some of them are like in the vein of handmade or like sheepy or llamas. But anyway, this is my new one for this year. It is a little fused glass llama. Usually try to get a new thing for the tree every year. This tree and the one downstairs, except the one downstairs is all glass ornaments. But that is this year's. Oh, and this one is new too. One of my search and rescue teammates got these made for our 55th anniversary. So that is that one. That one is on there. So yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful December so far. If you celebrate any of the holidays, I hope you're, making the delicious things, and I know I am. I made orange cranberry cookies for the first time, and they're so good. I'm definitely going to make them again during the winter. Looking for cookie recipes that are kind of like winter vibes, things with spice or like the wintry fruits like cranberry. I know orange is not really kind of like, people like dry them and use them as Christmas decorations, so they're a little December-y. So like apples, cranberries, I guess oranges, and yeah, like spice. But anyway, yeah, I hope you're making yourselves all the delicious things and not stressing too much and looking after yourself. So until next week, take very good care of yourselves. Bye. you.